I'm Batman.
I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Batman.
I'm Spider-Man. I'm just going to get you with my webs. Pew, 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 pew.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Oh, Spider-Man. I'm going to get you with my webs. Psst, psst, psst.
DC is better because I'm Batman.
Marvel's better because I have webs.
Batman.
Spider-Man.
Batman. Spider-Man.
Are you done yet?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're kind of live.
I'll put my toys away.
It's the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my Spider-Man host, Mr. Ricky Pope. Yes.
How are you, man?
I am good. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. And
There is that. Hey,
Ready
we got a
to-
smiley face.
we got smiley face already.
Ha ha.
Where-
So, wow, we have somebody who actually cares.
That's nice. I like that. It's nice. Yes. So anyway, how was your week up till now?
Good week. Had a good week. Not a whole lot going on. Pretty much same old, sitting around the house and doing social media stuff and helping other people do social media stuff.
By the way, our topic tonight, where's your Marvel stuff? Marvel fan?
My Spider-Man shirt's dirty.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot.
I wore this shirt. Oh, come on.
I forgot to wear my shirt.
Well, if you're not,
Sorry.
that's
I'm
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You
That's
have all your
okay.
DC wear on.
Yeah, I got this, and I actually was going to get my Captain's America shirt, but I couldn't find it. So Superman, because I was going to be the guy that's confused, non-committal.
I was actually thinking I could go grab my Iron Man cup, but at 0 seconds,
are we
at
talking
0 seconds to time for the show to start, I realized I had an empty cup and I needed to fill it. So
You were talking about that cup. I thought you meant another cup. I didn't know they sold those. I didn't know they sold those. I mean, I thought,
I think
man.
that's called a cod piece, my friend.
Oh, that's from DC Aquaman. Oh, man. Oh
my gosh.
we just lost people. Oh,
Fail. Yeah, Jason.
Yes, that was a big fail.
Epic
Thank you for
fail.
yes. Wow, that's pretty fast. Okay, we got that going. So anyway, today,
I have my
Go
Rock
ahead.
Cafe cup. today.
yes, Rock Cafe.
So if you don't know what the Rock Cafe is, then you're not from Oklahoma.
No, and for right now, all the news we're getting, that's probably not a bad idea. Oh, here we go. Okay,
Well,
boost
there
your
is
chair
that.
up.
There is
Boost your
that.
chair is up. Good deal. So last week we talked about the evolution of Batman.
We did.
We did. Prior to that, we went with the May the 4th be with you, and
Yep.
before that,
Talked a
Baby
lot about Star
Yoda.
Wars.
And if you check out our YouTube page, we have a lot of interesting stuff. We talk about a lot of pop
Yep.
culture stuff, a lot of nerd related stuff. So check us out on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So and
Check out the old episodes. Comment. Let us know what you think.
yes, be
And if you
kind.
think it
Be
stinks,
kind.
Oh well, just go ahead and comment anyway.
We will agree with you. We won't argue with you at all.
We won't argue a bit.
No.
No.
So tonight we talked about, we're going to talk about
Yeah, you
Marvel
committed
versus.
us.
I know, and I didn't because I had other ideas, and I just said it, and now so I had to come up with a bunch of stuff at the last minute. But we're going to talk about DC versus Marvel, and not so much in a debate competition.
Yeah,
I think
yeah. It's more of let's talk about what's different and what's the same, what's good, what's bad.
yeah.
I don't know that there will be a winner.
No, there's not. Oh my goodness. Are you still there, Ricky? I'm tapping on the window of love. Are you still there? Does anybody can comment to let me know that Ricky is still in the house? Okay. Let's see what's going on. Oh my. I lost Mr. Ricky Pope. Let's see here. Now, I don't know if you guys can see me right now. Maybe I lost. Let's see here. Hey, did you freeze or me? Well, I guess I might be on the show. He is frozen. Thank you, Melissa. And this is not awkward. So hopefully I can get Ricky back on the show. Tonight we're going to talk about DC versus Marvel. And okay. Now, okay. So right now we are going to talk about DC versus Marvel. So far the show, we've talked about a little bit of Batman Evolution last week, and this week we're going to if any of our listeners out there, can you hear me, Superman hat, and do you see Mr. Ricky Pope anywhere? Well, this is... Well, we're going to find out. Hey there, how you doing? Hey. Well, hey everybody, I got Ricky on the line. Everyone's watching me, so I didn't realize it. Thank you very much, Terrence. Yes. So, Ricky, would you like to join the studio? Yes. I mean, you can. Okay, I'm gonna sing. You light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. We just lost 5 more people now. Oh, this is not good. Things are. Yeah. Oh, my 2-year-old is seeing you on the big screen and saying hi. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can do that, and we'll. Yes. Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for this a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit what we called technical difficulty. I'm going to send an invite to my friend Ricky Pope, and I'm gonna send it through via email. Is that okay with you? And will be not titled because everybody's listening. Here we go. And I just sent it to somebody named Trilapia. This is so somebody else is gonna join. Oh, this is good times. Yes, man. I'm glad people didn't pay for this, because we would have to I don't. Yeah. I don't think this is gonna go. It'll be really bad. Well, see, what you're gonna do is, we got more people showing up. This is good. Hey, you're good? You're good? Okay. All right. Okay, Ricky's working hard. He's having some internet issue. Hang on, folks. This is more fun than talking about the show right now. Okay, Ricky, play by play. Give me a play by play. What's going on? Hold on a minute. Let's see here. Okay, Ricky, you're on the air. Give us what's going on here. Ricky, what's going on? Ricky.
Can you hear me?
Ricky, come back to me. Ricky, I can't do it without you, man. Come back.
I'm on the screen, Mike. So,
I had the whole show going on.
it was all on you, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was kind of it was fun. Yes, everybody. Hello, TJ. Thank you for showing up in the worst moment of my life. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Terrence, for your patience and your love. Wow, this was fun. We still have 9 people. I guess they wanted to see a train wreck. It was better than the Tiger King.
They saw one. Oh my goodness.
What happened? What happened,
I
man?
had no internet. My everything failed.
Because usually that's me. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm
Yeah.
going. Okay, so I'm talking to people. Is it me? Is it Ricky? And then we had some people.
For
Ricky,
about 2
that's
minutes.
right.
Yeah, for about 2 minutes, I simply had no internet connection at all in my home. Not
Yeah.
just, it wasn't just like the Wi-Fi router jacked up.
Yeah, the whole thing went bye
We
bye.
had nothing. Because the computer I'm on right now is hardwired, and it had nothing.
Yeah.
And my phone instantly kicked off Wi-Fi to LTE.
Yeah, what we need to do.
I'm
We
like,
need
did I
next
forget
time.
to
Next
pay
time.
the bill? What the heck?
We need to run a drill next time. How this would happen. We'll run a drill and see what we'll do. Yes, epic fail. That's what that is.
So here's a
Oh.
question I have.
Okay.
Shall you and I continue the show exactly like this, looking away from each other? Or shall I fix that?
This is a well-primed machine. We do this professionally. You can't get this entertainment anywhere.
Oh no, you can't get this kind of.
So what are you gonna do? Can you switch?
Well, I can. I can move.
Can
if
you-
I move you to this side, I can kind of look this way.
Okay.
But your camera's kind of set up weird.
Well, my
for you to
camera's
look-
this way. Okay. So if I go,
Can you move it to the? Can you move your control screen to the other monitor? And get
Really,
it
this
to-
is what we're gonna do. We're gonna end up like taking out the camera in the process.
No, just no. Wait. Do you have your two? I don't even know how your setup is. This is
Thank you, everybody.
this is
this,
legit.
this.
Oh my gosh.
I knew DC versus Marvel would be a controversy, but I didn't know it was going to be this bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So explain to some of the folks in the audience.
Yes. Oh my. Oh my. This is priceless. Did you freeze again?
I did for just a minute. For just a second. So
Are you sure you sure we're not doing a test stream here?
Oh my gosh. This is live.
This is live. Good thing we don't have any sponsors. We're not going to have sponsors now, I can tell you that.
Oh my gosh. So bad. So what I was going to explain to the audience is
Yes.
Mike and I, we live, I don't know, 15 minutes away from each other, 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
And I haven't physically been in his house for some time, not just because of COVID. There's other extenuating circumstances for why we started doing the show the way we did it, with him in his house and me in my house. So I don't even know what your setup looks like. See, my camera is in between my two monitors.
Yeah.
So I've got a monitor here and monitor here. So if I want to look toward you like this, I just move the browser from one screen to the other
Is that
screen.
what you do?
And then I can just look.
Yeah, see, I've got mine right between the two monitors. And
So if you they are
Yeah.
it is between the two monitors.
yes,
So if you just move your browser
my
from
browser
one screen to the other screen.
is this what this is? Oh, like this.
So now you
This
and I
is-
are kind of looking toward each other again.
This is ridiculous.
Does it feel super awkward?
Yes, this is Streaming 101, folks. I'm glad that you had a chance to meet us today. We're going to teach you everything not to do in podcasting and streaming. So, hey, check this out.
How to not live stream.
How not to live stream. Well, this is not awkward. I get it.
Is it super awkward?
No, don't worry about it. If I
If it's
wake up with a
super
crick in
awkward-
the morning.
I
No,
was gonna
this
say,
is
if
great.
If
I love this.
Awkward, I can just
No,
force
this
us
is
to be on opposite sides. of the
this is something. No, this is good.
Yes.
This is good. Let's just do this.
We're just gonna
Let's do this. Yes. Yes,
You
let's
look
do this.
uncomfortable.
This whole thing's been uncomfortable. So, no, you're fine. You're
Oh
fine.
my gosh.
Yes, I have this monitor way on the. Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is, Terrence.
Okay. So anyway, let's go back to the show. What were we talking about? This is what we're
I have
doing.
no idea
Is this
what
a
we were talking
Tiger
about.
King special again? No,
It's not.
no. Okay, no.
This is Marvel versus DC.
Okay.
And I think what I was about to say when I went,
Don't do that again, please. Don't even pretend like you're doing it. I'd rather you
not
say
good at holding
metachlorians than do that.
don't make me say midichlorians. Oh, you made me say midichlorians again.
Okay, let's get going here.
Okay, that's gonna be a t-shirt. I'm gonna get a t-shirt that says "You made me say midichlorians."
By the way, I finished up season 7 of the Clone Wars finally.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome. You need to watch the end of it, and we need to talk about it.
Okay, I will.
We need to
watch
do we need to do an Order 66 special.
Okay,
It was so good.
I will make a point
Okay.
to watch it. So
All right.
So this is our Marvel versus DC, and what I was about to say was, I don't think I have no expectation that there is a winner and a loser.
Yeah, I don't either.
I have no expectation.
I said no expectation. I was thinking we got no expectation. We're going to make it by the end of the hour. Go ahead.
So, but I have no expectation that there's a winner or a loser here.
No, not yeah.
We're just going to talk about what's different, what's weird, what's going on with Marvel and DC.
Exactly.
So that's
exactly.
kind of our plan. Although we've spent the last 15 minutes just talking about how crappy live streaming is.
Yes, right. But we're going to get right to it. We're going to get right to it. Do we want to go right to Marvel since all this stuff is going on, or do you?
Do we want to skip stupid news?
No, we can't do that. That would be bad.
We can't let the people down.
Okay.
Tell you what.
We've already done that. So.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's shorten stupid news.
Okay, let's shorten it.
Why don't you pick the best one?
Oh, there we go.
This
Let's
is the
do it.
best of it.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the best of stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Well, you know,
Get my best radio voice.
Yeah, sorry. What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, that was. Hold on a minute. This is fun. I'm good now. Did you hear something?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, never mind. It was a
Only
lady
you heard
speak. It was a lady speaking in my voice. Well, let's start out. Well, anyway, you know, since we're talking about stupid news, yes, Terrence, we're talking about stupid news, and right now, going to the moon takes a lot of resources, a lot of materials, and if you think about how much
there was almost a SpaceX launch today. It got canceled.
Exactly.
So disappointed.
Well, the European Space Agency said on Friday they found out something that will help them, instead of taking a lot of materials up to the moon.
Okay.
And so they said that the agency said Friday that human urine could one day become a useful ingredient in making concrete to build on the moon. So instead of blast off, you piss off. Yes, they said that basically the agency said researchers in the recent study and sponsored has found that urea, urea, the main organic compound in urine, would make the mixture for a lunar concrete more malleable before it hardens into its sturdy final form.
Okay.
Now,
that is maybe the most fascinating and bizarre and disgusting thing all at the same time I have heard in a very long time.
The main ingredient in lunar concrete, my friend, is that it would be a powdery soil found in the moon's surface, known as lunar regolith. It's regolith.
Okay.
ESA said urea, which can break hydrogen bonds and reduce the ferocity of fluid mixtures, would limit the amount of water necessary in the recipe. Can you imagine that? So, let's imagine this. Imagine this. No, imagine. Now, imagine these giant concrete mixers and a guy in the back peeing in the container.
I don't think that's how that works.
You don't think so? I mean, at least I have to have 10. Yes, right.
I don't
That's
think
right.
That's how that works.
That's right. I think that we're going to end it on that. What do you think?
I think we should end that on.
There we go. There we go.
This has been the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Silly.
Jason said he doesn't want to go to the moon. Oh, yeah, don't go to the moon. Yeah. Yes. TJ, thank you for joining. TJ is a good friend of mine. He's
TJ.
Yeah, thank you for joining. He's the man. He is my brother from another mother. Of course, we have a lot of brothers from different mothers, but anyway.
You know,
sock it to me.
you know, the moon. It's a hard place to raise the kids.
Yeah. It's cold as hell. And I don't know how you can pee without it getting frozen. You think about it, Armstrong, first man who peed in the moon. Think about that.
Yeah.
One giant step.
One giant leak for mankind.
We need to go to DC and Marvel right now. I'm going to let you kick it off.
All right, so this is our Marvel versus DC super awkward cast tonight because I forgot to wear my shirt and everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. So I don't even know where to start. I tell you what, let's just start with, let's talk about a little bit about Marvel and DC. Okay,
Yeah.
so the majority, what do you think the majority of people think of when they think of Marvel and DC today? If you go out in the street and you go, do you like Marvel? Do you like DC? What are people going to talk about?
Now, if you're talking about, like, let's say we go in the mall and we
General
just
populace,
general
yes.
population, people are going to know Marvel more than DC. They're going to think, they see her DC, they're going to think Batman, Superman, and that's it. And I think, don't do that. You said the shirt is no breaking it's Owen Wilson, Shanghai Noon. Okay, let's block him. But, so I think most people, when they hear DC, they're going to hear Superman. They're going to hear Batman. When they hear Marvel, they're going to hear of the entire universe from, the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Marvel had made their
And
franchise.
why do you think that?
I think the marketing. I think there's continuity. I was reading something where they were talking about how they were comparing Marvel with DC as far as movies go. Mm-hmm. And you think about it, you have these awesome actors who's been dedicated playing these roles for how many years? And they've been consistent.
More than 10 years now.
So people are bonding with these characters. The kids are wanting to go, so mom and dad's going. Us nerds, we're going because we're going to go see it. It just appeals to a wide range. Plus, unlike DC, Marvel is light. They have humor in it. It's
okay.
It's,
so you
go ahead.
Alluding to something.
Yes.
That I think is very important, but you haven't said it yet. If we go to the mall and we say, do you like Marvel? Do you like DC? I think whatever their answer is, probably 90% of the people we talk to will say one or the other because of movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It will have nothing to do with the fact that Marvel and DC comics have been around since the 40s.
Oh, yeah.
It will be movies from the last 20 years.
Most of the people who attend the movie theaters for Marvel and DC, a lot of them have never hardly read a comic book. I mean, except for the hardcore fans, the nerds like us who have read. I mean, I read DC comics for a long time. Got in some Marvels because of some friends. But
so I'm the Marvel guy. I read all the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
I've read a few DC comics because some friends, really said, you've got to read this. Like the Arkham Asylum.
I mean, they have some great,
The Batman Arkham Asylum graphic novel. That was one of the ones that's like, you've got to read this. And it was great. The artwork was amazing. It was a good read.
Yeah, they have a good... They have a good arc You know, I know how they carry everything. Decent. Let's see here. Some movies. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the thing.
I think. I
Flyer
think.
with the films. Yeah. DC shows and television. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. I think Mike has some commentary there.
Yes, I do.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And do so let's talk about this for a minute. This is
Okay.
one of the things I wanted to just make sure everyone was really up on this. When we talk about Marvel and DC, if you look at the comic history, okay, you're going to see lots of similarities, lots of differences. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is the majority of the writers and artists for comic books have at some point worked for both companies.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard a comic artist's name as somebody who was super popular, they've probably worked for both. Like you and I throw around the name Frank Miller quite a bit.
Yeah, we do.
Frank Miller Batman is iconic. But Frank Miller Daredevil on the Marvel side, Daredevil was just shy of being canceled as a comic, and Frank Miller came in and basically saved the run. So these guys have done both. They've done amazing work on both sides.
Well, they know stories. That's the thing. A lot of the guys from the comic books, they know story, and and so they know how to evolve a character.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's and well, I'm not going to get into my TV shows thoughts, but
Not yet.
not yet anyway. But yeah, I think the two biggest things right now is
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
He worked for both.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and now I have to look at this monitor. It's 5 miles away. Let's see here.
Do you want me to switch us?
No,
I can
this
switch
is
us. It'll take
fine.
us
No,
2
this is
seconds.
No, this is fine. This is fine. I
All
have
I to
everything
do is
over
take
there.
you off the screen and put you back on it.
Well, people probably wanted me to stay off the screen. Okay, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Flip me, Sal. This
You
would
ready?
be so. Yes,
All right,
I am.
hold on. I'm gonna
Go
move
get
my-
it. Flip it.
gonna move
Okay.
this.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You'll be right back.
Oh! Oh my goodness.
Does that make your life easier?
I guess so. I feel so.
Yes. So,
Why am I still looking the other direction?
because you're still looking. Because now you got to move your.
Oh, the Lord have mercy.
Now you got to move your browser.
I
back
got it
over
in
to
my
the
brow.
other monitor.
Don't stop it. Just stop it. This has been a. Okay. We're gonna get right into. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty. I'm done. Okay. So
We're going to talk about the
now
TV shows.
we're
now.
gonna get to the nitty gritty. Okay. The deal is right now, and I'm a DC fan,
Yeah.
and my bones to pick with DC is, and they're the continuity. They tried so hard.
Yes.
They try so hard to, at the last minute, to try to keep up with Marvel, creating this universe. And the issue is that they were not prepared for it. Plus, they don't have. I mean, they need someone like a Paul Dini who wrote for Batman, Adventures or animated series, a guy who understands story content. They need to have a guy on the helm for Warner Brothers.
They don't have a Kevin Feige.
They don't, and they need one.
Yes.
They need somebody who can create this universe. And there's too much stuff going on in DC. There's too many Elseworlds, Arrowverse. Don't get me on Arrowverse. And I'm sorry, Arrowverse. I first watched some of that stuff. It's a soap opera. I want something more than a soap opera. I understand their stories and relationships.
Yeah.
But see, the thing what Marvel does, there is stories, but it's underneath all the action.
Yes.
It's underneath,
Yeah.
the struggle against good and evil. There's a
Yes.
little bit of drama. There's a little bit of relationships, but the focus is on the arch villain, the person that there's against.
Okay, so this is totally not Marvel or DC. But I
Okay.
have the same problem with. See, I'm a big fan of police procedural shows. think Law and Order, Criminal Minds, things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of those. But then there's the ones like Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Blue Bloods is not so much a police procedural. It's a soap opera about a family who happens to be police people.
Yeah, don't say anything about Blue Bloods. My wife will come over
Is she a
there.
big fan?
Yes, she is.
See,
And
like,
she caught me in on it too. So
yeah. Hey, I'm not saying it's bad. It's not what I want. I want that police procedural.
yeah,
Have you checked out Stargirl?
I have not.
I've heard about this just recently.
I heard it recently. What can you tell me about that, Terrence? Have you seen it yet?
We'll see.
I totally agree. We were talking about this last week, TJ. We were talking about the evolution of a Batman.
Yep.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, Mark Hamill is the Joker. And oh my goodness, who did I said Batman animated series? Oh come on, he was in my name. He did the voice for
Voice of
animated
Batman.
series, voice of
Yes.
Batman, and Conroy.
Conroy. He did a great job.
And he is Batman. I mean, so
Terrence says
anyway,
it has what you're looking for.
okay, good, thank you.
We'll have to check it out.
I mean, Terrence, I started watching Flash. I loved Flash. Started watching
Yeah.
Arrow. Arrow is probably the worst about relationships. I slept with this girl. She's my girlfriend. I don't know this one and that one. Arrow, was a little more consistent, and they kind of go down that whole train too. I mean, it's like I want a superhero show. I don't want an agenda. Just give me a show that I can watch. And let's see here.
Oh.
You do the comments. We did this last time. Yeah, see, that's
I've
important.
screwed everything else up today. Maybe you should do the comments.
I think that's one. I think one thing, and I was reading something about DC and Marvel, and I don't know how much it's true. I do love the cast of villains in DC. They're dark. They're
That is-
it comes from their normal people who goes through a hard time and they break, and then all suddenly
that is a repetitive thing when I hear the DC versus Marvel, conversation. It's that DC has better villains, and when I think about that on the surface level, I think, well, I don't know if they have better villains, but when you look into it, I think they're probably right that the villains have better backstory. They have better reasoning for why they're the bad guy. A lot of the Marvel bad guys are just kind of, I'm a bad guy because I'm a bad guy, and I decided to be a bad guy.
Luke Cage. TJ, the worst
Having
thing.
coffee with everyone.
I know. I love Luke Cage. I love Daredevil on Netflix. The Punisher, man. I really like the Punisher, and I was really sad when they decided to cancel him on Netflix. And I knew at that time, Disney bought Marvel and they were making that transition, but there were some really good actors. Luke Cage, I can't remember his name. Great actor. Same the guy who plays Daredevil. There's a good cast of people. I mean, it was really good. I didn't care for the Karate Kid. What's the one?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Me and my wife used to laugh at him because it was like he would say Rand would say, "Fortune cookie. When you look under the table, you must look for gum, and gum may be on your head, but don't look the other way." I mean, come on. But anyway, I yeah. So anyway. The villains, the thing about Batman villain, just can't see it. Yeah, the thing about Condiment Man.
I don't think I know that one.
Did we ban him? I thought you banned him.
Condiment Man. Oh my goodness.
And I
am not saying that they don't both have some lame villains.
I know it.
Like even and I will say Marvel Oh my gosh, some of the most destructive and eventually some of the villains that appear to be the coolest in the end had some of the goofiest, lamest beginnings. There's a okay, Baron Zemo. Are you familiar with Baron Zemo?
Yeah, I know Baron Zemo. Yes.
Okay. Do you know the story in the comics?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you know in the film, you know he is Sokovia. He's in
Yes.
Sokovia.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
He's just a guy. Okay. Well, in the comics, he has this purple cowl over his face, like eye cutouts. He looks cool as a character, super villain guy. Yeah, he made this super glue called something X. I don't remember something X, and he accidentally glued it to his face, and now he's not a happy person because he can't remove it because he made super glue that was unremovable. And
That's tragic compared to somebody having their face burned, and they have to, Two-Face, who has to wear, half of a mask. Yeah, okay.
I see. There's just some weird goofy.
You got paper cuts from Post-it notes or something.
He
He
glued a mask to his face.
Well, he's one of the Three Stooges. I mean, he put
yeah. So there's just some weirdness there. Some Marvel super villains are they just have some super lame backstories. Some of them are better than others.
No, I mean, Marvel has some good. Like Loki. He's one of my favorite.
Is a great super
and the
villain.
thing is, and that's the thing that Marvel has against DC, their universe. And I tell you what, Disney Plus. If you got Disney Plus, then yeah, pay me Disney Plus for saying this, but you're going to get. I mean, look at all the shows are coming out from Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay, DC, they have WB, which I have my issues with. I like Flash. I like some of the characters, but I have my issues with the shows. They have DC has their streaming service, but I don't even know what they're streaming. I mean, a lot of it's older shows, older movies. Teen Titans,
kind of the one big new thing.
I started watching Teen Titans. It was slow going. I liked it. What was it?
There's no.
Yeah.
You're right, Terrence.
Yeah.
It is
He's gonna die. He's gonna die. He doesn't.
so ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Next, we need to find a photo of him.
Yeah, I think. TJ said he sent you one.
Did he?
Oh my gosh. So that's something I hear a lot. The other thing I hear, which you've already alluded to, is DC does better TV shows than movies, which is debatable.
Oh, this is so cool. I'm sorry, you're gonna be able to see this, but here I go. I can't. It basically the guy. They met the guy Vince from The Punisher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he sent a picture of Baron Zemo.
No. Met at the Venice Beach couple. That is so cool. He's a great actor. Well, he was on. He was on The Walking Dead for a while.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, okay. So back to you were saying.
Well, I was going to say another thing that when you talk about who has better heroes and villains, there are so many copycat characters.
Yeah.
From, we've got ones that are just blatant ripoffs of each other.
Oh, I know.
Like Elongated Man and Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Or Plastic Man, if you're that guy. Catwoman and Black
Cat. Yeah.
They're almost the same person.
Hawkeye and the Green Arrow.
Hawkeye and Green Arrow, very similar. By the way, I was very disappointed that that Green Arrow in the Arrowverse doesn't have like a super long blonde goatee like in the comics.
Yeah.
That's lame of me
Is
to
that
say, but
that's pretty lame? But I'll let
Yeah.
you have that.
Aquaman and Namor, and now this one I've always thought this was interesting. You've got Aquaman and Namor,
Yeah,
and one is supremely better known than the other.
I know.
People really know who Aquaman is. Not very many people know who the Submariner or Namor is. But Namor actually came first.
When you think about it, well, think about it. Let's say the DC movies. Let's say Marvel hasn't
Yeah.
had the success. Let's say they didn't have all the movies and the continuity. Would you think people would know Hawkeye over Green Arrow?
If Marvel didn't have the success in the films,
Yeah,
no.
I mean straight from yeah,
No.
'Cause-
Because I think most of the real comic nerds know both.
yeah, exactly.
They know
Exactly.
both, and they know at least some of the history, even if they're not like I'm not a DC guy. I don't read very many DC comics, but I know quite a few of the characters,
Yeah,
even some of the more obscure DC characters. But what's that? Aren't the similarities because so many of the artists? That is something. Specifically, if you talk about Deadpool
yeah,
and Deathstroke
exactly.
as being the same character, well, they were designed by the same person.
Yeah,
And basically, he left DC and came to Marvel and didn't want to quite give up on the character, so he made a goofy, absolute ripoff that became Deadpool. Now, that's one of those. These two characters, they're so close. Even their names, their real live names, are similar.
oh
to each
yeah, I
other.
know. Yeah,
You know, but Deadpool is by far the better known character at this
yeah,
point.
he is. Yes.
Although I've always thought Deathstroke was cool. This was one. There actually is a comic, a DC comic I actually did get into. I was a Teen Titans fan back in the 80s. So I got into that whole thing, and Deathstroke was a character there. So I always thought that was a cool character. But yeah, a lot of those characters are ripoffs of each other because they would go from one studio to the
Yeah.
next studio and be like, but I liked that character. Well, let's just remake him and, create something similar.
Well, we were talking about last week about Batman and the continuity of universes, and we were talking about how, I know for me, we were talking about how Batman in the DC universe, it seems like it's within a comic universe, even when they did movies like Batman with, Michael Keaton, they had, it was totally within that realm of comic books.
Yes.
And in Marvel, they take more of a, we are here in the present day
Yes.
and stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And which is cool. I think it's cool.
Well,
and
it's
so-
even the idea of, like, Peter Parker lives in New York,
Yeah. Yeah. It's not Gotham.
but
It's
Superman
not
lives
even
in
yeah.
Metropolis, which
Yes.
is assumed to be New York with a
Exactly.
different name.
Different name. Yeah.
And Gotham is what's supposed to be Chicago or something.
I don't know.
You
I don't know.
I've read that somewhere that the idea was that Gotham was Chicago, except now in the movies they're across the bay from each other. So what is it? New Jersey?
Exactly.
Is Gotham Jersey?
It's Rhode Island. Yeah. Superman's down in Rhode Island. Take a left over there to the bodega. He's over there.
But yeah, I've always thought it was kind of interesting that DC took a decided idea of, we're not going to be in our world. We're going to be in a world that is somewhat similar, but definitely not our world.
Yeah.
And then Marvel took the other road of, this is definitely our world, but with superheroes.
Well, you think about it, the two things Marvel, you think about it, Marvel and DC. DC, except maybe for Batman, a lot of their characters are basically godlike. The superpowers were given
Yes.
to them. You have in Marvel a lot of it mutations or experiments, except for maybe Thor. So you have a lot of that, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
I agree, Dort.
yeah, yeah. So there's
Okay, so yeah, so a lot of godlike characters in DC.
yeah,
And Marvel is more of a I'm a regular person and
Yes.
I suddenly have these powers. What do I do? There
yeah,
often is conflict with what do I do with it? Mm-hmm. And often there's a issue of oh crap, I used it wrong.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Now I'm the bad guy.
yeah. The consequences involved in that. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. So you've got, things where I don't even know. I mean, I think of there's a big storyline in Marvel where there's a mutant and they're in a big fight against another bad guy, and this is the X one of the X series books. They're in a big fight with a bad guy, and things go horribly, horribly wrong, and an entire town dies because they weren't more careful.
Well, you know, it's funny. I mean, not funny, but you look at DC. What's funny with DC is that most of their characters has this line where they won't cross to kill, like Batman, like Superman. I mean,
Yeah.
with it, yeah, not the newest Superman that came out with Harvey Keitel where he broke the neck off of Zod, but I'm talking about in the continuity of canon.
Yeah.
You know, even the Arrow, you know, was, well, I think with a TV show, you know, the TV show, he actually assassinated people and then finally became like Batman.
Yeah.
And so, but in Marvel, I'm not saying taking a life is something that they, you know, thrive for, but it happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it's because you have these great battles, you
Right.
know, so
the bad guys die and the good guys die.
yeah.
And I think that's an important part of storytelling. My daughters
Yeah.
and I actually had a conversation about this because they're into Harry Potter and Harry Potter was on. And I don't want to talk about the boys.
I just real quick. I have watched it, and let's just say, it's not for the kiddies. That's all I'm going to have to say. I like the premise of it.
Yeah.
I think they take it a little bit too far, but it's kind of that anti, you know, heroes. You know,
Yeah.
it's more like common man coming against these gods. And so I liked it. I liked it to the point of where they were coming from. I wish they would have tamed it down a bit. I wish it wasn't so in your face. But
What, like the naked guy that keeps showing up?
yeah, that guy
He's
keeps
pretty
showing
much
up.
in your face all the time.
Yes, I know it.
Yeah. It's like, really? Really? We're going to do this?
Yeah. Oh, no, it isn't. Yeah, I know.
Comics are better. I don't know if comics are better or not. They're different.
I wonder if these were. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that there's just a lot of there's a lot of this idea that when we're comparing the two, you know, there has to be a winner and a loser.
Yeah.
And I don't think there has to be. I think in lots of ways they're both winners, and lots of ways they're both losers.
I really think Marvel and DC can really learn from each other. I mean, you think about how many
absolutely.
crossovers of talent that they've had come over. I mean, if you think about it, Ryan Reynolds from popular, you know, Green Lantern.
Yes.
But if you think, but anyway, moved over to Deadpool, you know, I mean, you see some of this and there's some continuity there. And there's enough
I was
room
gonna
for
say,
both.
You alluded to this earlier, but you weren't
Yeah.
explicit.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing, that the casting that you do is super important.
Oh, yeah.
And if you cast somebody who can easily step away at any moment, you don't have you don't have enough control to create a universe with that person.
No, you don't.
You've got to either pay them enough money that they're going to hang around just for the cash,
Yeah.
or find somebody who just is super interested in doing it. And that, that's kind of the Ryan Reynolds thing.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds would probably have 4 or 5 movies under his belt as Deadpool
Yeah.
if he had the opportunity, because he wanted to do this.
Well, in that vein, and there's 2 things that come to my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Marvel, they're in phase 2. They've lost. I won't say they lost, but a lot of their main popular characters have stepped down.
Yes.
They've retired.
This is going to be a new.
So
It's yet to be seen
Yeah.
whether Marvel is going to survive this next step.
now DC, on the other hand, they have Patterson coming in. I am nothing against Patterson. I hope he does well. As long as he doesn't. Anyway, I'm not going to go Clooney. I'm not going to go bat nipples. So anyway,
We did that last week.
we did that last week. But with DC, and Patterson comes in there, and then the next thing you know, okay, there was supposed to be a Justice League 2.
How do you do that now?
Because right now, Justice League 2, in a sense, still exists because you have the single characters from Aquaman, Wonder Woman, which Wonder Woman is the best out of all of them as far as
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
concerned.
Absolutely.
I look forward to the new one coming out. But if you look at all that, there's eventually, like they did with the Avengers, they were going to bring them back together. But now, now it looks like to me Patterson, unless they do a Justice League reboot, which
Yeah.
I don't think it would. I don't know. I think
Yeah, my problem with that is
yeah,
from the looks of everything, Patterson's going to be a new Batman, meaning he hasn't been Batman long.
yeah,
So, I mean, unless you're going to not say he's Bruce Wayne, how are you going to work this in to a combined universe that already had a Batman and disappeared?
Well, I mean, that's what we talked about before. It was better if they would have wrote the story of passing the mantle.
Yes. If,
You know,
if Patterson was
Yes.
Nightwing becoming Batman, stepping up into the mantle,
Yeah,
that would be brilliant. And
Yeah.
now and Marvel is trying that, and we're going to see if it works.
yeah, with
We're
Captain
gonna see-
America.
yes,
Yeah,
passing the torch, Captain America passing the torch. We haven't seen it yet, but we've kind of seen it. With Iron Man, they've got options,
yeah, they do.
and it doesn't sound like they've made decisions.
No,
In the comics, James Rhodes steps up and becomes Iron Man to continue to continue on in old comics. These are like
yeah,
the
yeah,
70s and 80s comics, or 80s, I guess. James Rhodes becomes Iron Man on a very regular basis. But yeah, Todd, I agree. I think
Yeah.
the Nightwing thing would make so much more sense. And then you can bring him in as part of a Justice League,
Yeah.
but he's not the leader of the Justice League.
No.
Maybe Wonder Woman steps up as the leader from now on.
and I can see that.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
can see her do that,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're about to see this passing the mantle thing and see how it works with Marvel, because we've got Falcon becoming a Captain America type. We've got we don't have an Iron Man, so who takes his place? A lot of people are trying to push
I knew TJ was going to say something like that, and that was something I wanted to bring up.
dude. Okay,
I wanted to bring
go
this
ahead.
up, and my only deal in the comics, it went both ways.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and so you have two veins of it. Is one thing is you have Bucky,
yeah,
who is a super soldier.
yes,
So he has the same power as a Cap. So you kind of go, well, maybe it should have gone to him. But then also too, you have a man who doesn't have superpowers, but he becomes Captain America, and it's what kind of story do you want to tell? You know, I mean, I think to me both would have been fine, but I'm curious about that because Captain America had, you know, he was a super soldier, and the only other one that was basically close to that type of experiment was Bucky
Right.
And
But
so-
on the Russian side,
on the Russian side.
Yeah.
So that how is that going to look
Well,
with
and-
the Falcon becoming because he doesn't have those powers. He has to rely on technology. And I think that's the only thing I'm thinking about.
that storytelling wise, I think that's right. My big concern, and this has always been my big concern, and I've mentioned it multiple times, I'm not sure he can carry a solo movie. Can he do this team up show?
Yeah.
I think he and Sebastian Stan will work well together. They worked well together in the movies.
Yeah, they're great actors. I like seeing them together.
I think they'll be great together in this show. I'm not sure he's a big enough name. This has nothing to do with anything else other than, is he a big enough box office draw
Yeah.
to get a solo movie? And I'm not sure he can.
Yeah.
And that was my concern with every option that we could have had for putting somebody into the Captain America thing.
Yeah.
Now, Don Cheadle stepping in as Iron Man, I think that could be awesome.
I would love that.
That would be
I would get.
amazing.
I would wait. I would get in line for that.
Yes.
I would get in line for that because he's just cool, man. I love the
Yes.
guy, and
He
and
is.
his humor. He has this Tony Starkness about him.
Yes.
You know, except it's anyway. He makes me laugh just thinking about some of the things he says through the movies, the way he would rib Tony Stark and stuff like that. I love that.
Okay, is Pepper Potts going to be Iron Man replacement? Okay, so here's the other option.
Okay,
they
yeah.
could do an Iron Heart idea, which is a female Iron Man, and who's that going to be? Could that be? Could Ironheart be a whole new person?
Yeah.
Which in the comics it was a younger girl.
Yeah.
I think there's like, I don't know if it's the actual storyline or if this was a rumor that they were, okay, so the daughter of the best friend of Captain Marvel
Yeah.
in the movies could be Ironheart. That's super convoluted, but that is a storyline possibility. There's the kid from the second or third Iron Man movie who shows up at the funeral. He could be Iron Man. Don Cheadle could step up and be Iron Man instead of War Machine. There's lots of options there that I think are all good. I think Don Cheadle's the one that has the best screen presence already. The others are unknowns. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, he's already taken a mantle in a type of Iron Man prototype suit.
Exactly.
I mean, he's
Right.
known as the Patriot.
Yes.
He's known as that. And so, he may have not all the, the engineering, inventive type of qualities of
Yeah.
Tony Stark, but that's when you have, supporting actors that does that kind of stuff. He's more strategic.
Right.
So I would love
Yeah.
to see that. But on the other side, we roll the dice. Thor, Hemsworth, he's stepping down. So
Yep. And we've already confirmed. Oh crud! What's her name?
Natalie
Padme from
Natalie Portman. Yeah,
Natalie Portman as the new Thor. I'm not happy about this.
I'm not
at all.
either. No,
And this has nothing to do with the female Thor. I
No.
just don't like Natalie Portman. I haven't liked her in anything. I'm not a Padme fan from the Star Wars movies. She's okay.
who do you,
I
who do you
she'll
think would
fine.
be? Which female actress do you think would play a good?
I can't remember her name, but I think they should have taken the Valkyrie character and handed it off to her.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's the king of Asgard right now. Give her the hammer.
Yes.
That would have been
That would have been-
brilliant. She is a great actress.
Yes, she is.
She has that powerful presence on when she comes on screen, people pay attention.
I know.
That would have been a brilliant move, but no, we're going to do Natalie skinny, puny.
Well,
little
I mean,
Natalie
it wouldn't
Portman.
make it would have made sense if you think about it, because Thor passed it down to her. She was in
Yeah.
charge of it, so why
She's
not?
in charge of Asgard. Why not give her the hammer?
Why not? She's worthy.
Yeah, I'm mad that didn't happen.
It's all about names. It's all about. But the thing is, that
She could certainly drink like.
yeah. Well, and that has to be a prereq too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to be
If
the
you're
god of
gonna do a
thunder,
if you're going to do a
be
female
a-
Thor, I think that would have been a better option.
yeah,
Now, if they are going to do the actual Jane Foster story from the comics, maybe Natalie Portman's the right option because, she's supposed to be a cancer patient, and being Thor is the only thing that keeps her alive. But I'm not a Natalie
she
Portman.
doesn't have any metachlorians, does she?
Hopefully not. So what about, we've got the other rumor is Cavill leaving Superman.
Well, Well, I know.
What do you do to replace Superman?
Well, the thing is, and he's doing stuff on Netflix now.
Yeah.
He's doing the Witcher King.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think he was a great Superman. I just think the way they wrote for him was,
How do you pass the torch down?
I don't know. Or do you just totally do a reboot? I think that's what's going to happen. I think the whole thing is going to fall apart. The whole continuity that they were striving for is just going to fall apart. And,
Todd.
so, oh. Oh.
I wasn't going there, Todd.
Oh my
thanks.
goodness. Oh,
Superboy. Superboy, Supergirl, Power Superwoman. Is there a Superwoman?
I don't know.
I don't know. That is an option. I think that's where you these guys are having their own conversation without us.
They're having a better show than we are. I'm just telling you that right now.
I think whatever Justice League, if and this is a big
Yeah.
if there's a Justice League 2, I almost think you leave Batman and Superman out completely.
You have to.
Give an explanation for why they're not there.
They're on honeymoon.
They're on it.
Sorry.
There.
I don't know.
Going there.
Sorry,
but
I
okay,
just
whatever.
no. Sorry about that. I was
So
sorry
but,
about that.
So anyway, give an explanation for why they're not there. Bring in a Power Girl, which is I like Power Girl. I like Power Girl better than Superwoman. Sorry. Whatever.
Whatever.
Bring in one of those characters so you've got another female character. Give Cyborg a better backstory so he has more clout. Keep your Flash. Bring in a Hawkman, Hawkgirl combo of some sort. Who Martian Manhunter. Figure out how to get Martian Manhunter on there. Come up with a new lineup. And
Well, like a
it's
Green
just-
Lantern. Bring a Green Lantern in.
Yes, a good Green Lantern.
A good one.
Not a Hal Jordan Green Lantern.
No.
What's the other guy's name? I'm not a Green Lantern fan, so I don't know their names.
I can't.
There's like 3 major
know.
Green Lanterns.
Yeah, I can't remember.
What's the Black Green Lantern's name? I don't remember his real name. Anyway, bring
he
in
was
a
good,
Green
yeah.
Lantern. Bring in a Green Lantern. That would be great. Just basically, spin it off as this is a new direction
Yeah.
for, Batman's fallen off the face of the earth and Superman is gone saving somewhere else. Yeah, Terrence is asking what happened to Cyborg's standalone film. I don't know.
I don't know. I think a lot of them don't know right now. I think they had a lot of them set up. I think with what happened, with right now what's going on in the world, I think a lot of studios had to stop, and I have a feeling they may be reconsidering some things.
Well, and I think with the Justice League did. Now, this annoys me.
Yeah.
The Justice League did so bad.
Yeah.
It only did almost $700 million.
What do you do with that kind of money?
Man, if I ever have a movie and it doesn't make at least $800 million, I mean, what? $700 million?
I know.
And that's a flop. That annoys me, by the way. That's a pet peeve of mine. But I think when that went down, they questioned whether or not they could have a Flash film or a Cyborg film, which that could be actually fun.
Yeah,
Did a Flash Cyborg team up film?
That's what they should do. They should.
That would be kind of cool.
I think that would be really cool.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
But I think the best route would be just to spin off as, this is Justice League. Put Gal Gadot, put Wonder Woman in charge of the league, and she has to rebuild the team. She got to get the band back together.
Yeah.
And like somebody said earlier, Batman and Superman are on an off-planet mission.
That's what they say. Okay.
That's the lame Spider-Man, Far From Home deal.
Yeah,
it's like, what
funny.
about Thor off-planet?
He's off planet.
What about Captain Marvel? Unavailable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I think doing something like that would be is the best route they could go. I don't know if they'll do it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they need to come up with something like, they're off on a mission. But I think in the long run, they're going to have to deal with the issue that there's no longer Superman and a Batman, at least that fits. I think that's the thing. I think for me, it breaks. Knowing that these two actors are no longer playing those characters, it throws me off to the reality of the Justice League.
Yeah,
it throws me. I can't get sucked into it because I already know, okay, they exist, but they really don't because the actors who play them are no longer Superman and Batman. So who's going to show up? A new Darren from Bewitch? I mean, who's going to show up?
Yeah, and I mean, there is the other option. Just ditch this whole continuity, idea, and just make standalone movies that make money.
I think
which
DC
is what they've been doing so far.
I think DC is. I see kind of a pattern. I think DC is kind of doing that, like they did with the Joker, which was a more mature content.
Yeah.
Different world. They have Patterson. I'm sure that's maybe the shift of directions. I'm sure because at one time they had like a timeline, a map, kind of like what Marvel does, but it was just Aquaman and this and all these were going to come out. But these have not came out in production yet, so that can change where they can go.
Right.
Let's put the brakes on it. Let's go a different direction.
Yeah.
And I can see that happening.
There's plenty of time to rewrite something right now.
They're good actors. I love the actors who play Aquaman, Wonder Woman. I love Godot. Godot, yeah. And, the guy who plays Flash, he seems to fit the character just fine.
Yes.
So, I mean, they have good people playing it.
Yeah.
But I think the part of it, too, is Zack Snyder. When he stepped down, I think he had a vision for it different than what was put out. And of course, that's going to be on HBO. He's going to have his, going to be on HBO, his cut. The Justice League,
one more streaming service I have.
Yeah, I know.
To watch one thing.
One more thing I have to look for out in the internets.
Yes. On blah, 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 .com.
.com. Yeah.
Exactly. .com. Yeah, I think the whole thing. I am curious what will happen with Marvel.
Yeah.
I think Marvel has a good shot at surviving the leaving of major characters
I think so too.
because they've built up such a backlog of other characters.
Well, you think about it, how they integrated some of these characters into the first phase, like the Black Panther, you know, uh, you know, uh,
And by the
Doctor
way,
Strange.
when we say first phase and second phase, we're not talking about the Marvel phases of movie releasing because
Yeah.
we're on like phase 5.
Yeah.
We're talking about there was this one big overarching phase,
Yeah.
and it just ended because some people left. And
Yeah.
now we're talking about what do you do in this second phase. That might confuse some people if we say first phase.
Yeah, I
second
forgot
phase.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Marvel actually calls them phase 1, 2, 3, 4. I
Yeah.
think we're on 5 now. But,
Something like
But yeah,
that.
I'm with you. Like, we've got this. You've got Black Panther that we haven't explored very much. We've got, you've got Ant-Man. He's got 2 movies under his belt now.
Doctor Strange,
Doctor Strange, who's about to have his second movie out.
which I love the actor. Yeah.
Yep. You've got the Hulk with some.
Now we know anything about? I haven't heard anything. Is he returning? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard one way or the other, but there's still big issues with him. Not with him. There's big issues with the character and distribution to be able to make a solo movie for the Hulk,
Yeah.
and that's a big thing. And we've got this opportunity with the X-Men now, which somebody just mentioned. Yeah, X-Men can be more of a part of the next phase. See, I think if Marvel plays it well, they can actually pivot away from Avengers for a while and pivot into X-Men as being the big team. And then bring in some of the side characters, bring in some of the other characters to connect the universe. So you've got, which I've pitched this one before. I think the next Black Panther, Aurora Storm, needs to show up because she's from the same part of the world.
Yeah.
That to get in, to let the mutants start showing up.
Yeah.
I think they could easily do an end credit scene with from the comics, the Illuminati.
Yeah.
which
Exactly.
Which is, Black Panther's been part of the Illuminati. You can bring in Reed Richards, so you bring in the Fantastic Four now that they have access to them. You bring in, we've lost Iron Man now, so you can't have Iron Man. But you can bring in Professor Xavier, who's been part of the Illuminati. So you've got your X connection. And we create this we've got this little cabal that's going to control the next major phase of Marvel, which can be this X series.
Exactly.
And then you drip in all the other characters as needed, to tie everything together. So I think that's I think that would be great. I think that would be a great way to kick it off. I don't know if it'll happen, So far, nothing I have recommended has ever happened with Marvel.
They don't listen to the show. That's the problem.
I know. They don't listen to the show.
But yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with DC. And I don't think it's a bad thing if they don't have a cohesive universe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
But don't try to then. That's the key.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think you're right. That if you're not going to do a cohesive universe, just go with it.
Exactly.
Make a decision, Warner Brothers, and run with it.
Don't be jealous of don't be jealous of Marvel. Then
Nope.
do your own thing. And that's what happened. They were trying to cash on that continuity, just like
Yes.
Marvel. That's why they jumped it. That's
We
why they
were
threw
trying
Superman
to-
together. They were
We were trying to be Marvel, and we did it too fast. Rather than,
it could have been done right.
Yeah,
It could have been done right.
right. They could have, if they had done it slower,
Yeah.
they'd have had more solo movies first. They probably needed 4 solo movies.
Well, they needed a Batman solo movie too. That
Yes.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, Batman versus Superman was not a. It wasn't a Batman movie. It wasn't. I don't know. It was a weird movie. It was a Lex Luthor movie.
Yeah, it was.
It was
And
kind of
I
weird.
didn't even like the Lex Luthor that was
Yeah.
in it. I mean,
Yeah. See, I don't know that that would have been a bad way to bring the Justice League together, but I agree. I think you needed a Superman movie, you needed a Batman movie, you needed a Wonder Woman movie. Probably you needed one of the other side characters, a Cyborg or a Flash movie, before you tried to start mixing the pot.
that's kind of and that's what Marvel did. I mean,
Yeah,
you
Marvel
know,
had. I mean, unless I'm
was
counting
Iron
wrong,
Man.
we had a Hulk, even though it's the wrong Hulk.
Yeah,
We had a
it's-
Hulk that's still considered canon.
Yeah.
We had Iron Man. Did we have a Thor before? We had Thor before.
Yes.
And
Of course, Cap,
Did
you
we
know.
get Captain America before Avengers?
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 4 major characters, and then we had 2 side characters.
Yeah.
See, if DC had tried to slow it down and done that, I think they could have pulled it off. I think that was a major fail. Was like you said, was like we jumped on a Superman movie, and then we jumped on a Superman and Batman movie, and then we went Justice League. It's just moving too fast.
I was thinking the same thing, Terrence. I thought John Cryer would have been a better Lex Luthor
Oh, yeah.
than what's his name? I forget.
Yeah,
I can't remember his
we're
name.
horrible with names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Lex Luthor for the movies.
No.
I thought he was okay, but he was a little weird.
It was. Yeah. He shouldn't have been a kid.
Yeah,
That's what it felt like. It felt like a little
Yeah.
kid, you know, and that's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
So
Man.
there's your way to go. DC has better villains than Marvel.
wow. Well, we just tore that off. Maybe we do have a winner here. I think Marvel, even with the second phase of less known characters, as far as compared to the first, I would say the first group.
Yeah,
I think the first group, I think they introduced this group in a fantastic way.
Yeah.
And I think people have a connection with them, and I think it will continue to be successful as long as they have, they keep the same route they're going. I think Disney Plus, I think Marvel. I'm interested to see, with the Falcon and
Winter Soldier. I want to see that.
I want to see that. I agree. I would go see the movie if they were buddies in the movie.
Yes.
I would go see that. And I think that's kind of what their thought process is
Yeah.
that neither one of them can carry it by themselves, but together
Yeah.
maybe there's some chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think that's going
agree.
to be a big deal. And in DC, it's just
See, that's where I think DC could have a great little movie with Flash and Cyborg together.
yeah. I mean,
They aren't
it's,
super strong on their own for carrying a full movie. I don't know. Flash might be able to. I don't know the character. I don't know the actor very well.
Yeah.
That
Well, I
played
think-
Cyborg. He might be.
I don't know.
He didn't get much He didn't get much screen time.
no,
for
he
me to
didn't. But
even
I
say.
But I think DC would do better if they would team up some of these actors.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to have to do something to bring people in and to
Yeah.
develop a relationship with these characters. I mean, I'm talking about to make money. It's going to be outside of the comic book genre, the fans outside of it, because they're going to have to appeal to they're going to have to appeal to the mainstream. Like Marvel,
Yeah.
they hit that sweet spot,
Well, and we mentioned it before. DC was talking about not publishing real live paper comics.
I know that was a big deal. Yeah.
And did they ever make a decision?
I don't know. I know they were talking about going all digital, but I don't know if they actually did that or not.
I don't know if that'll fly. Now, I have been reading digital comics lately.
It's just, I mean,
But
it's just
the
easier for me,
Marvel-
but
I have the Marvel subscription, so
yeah.
You've got the DC subscription.
Yeah.
It's a house divided here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Man, did we?
Aquaman no longer sucks. This is true.
That's true. I love that actor, man. He's a great actor.
I will say, when I first saw the photo of him and his tattoos and the crazy hair and his trident, I just saw the photo, no words, and I was like, they're gonna make a Namor movie.
Oh,
Because
no.
back in the 90s, Jay Lee did a series on Namor, and he had that look, that
How did he?
rough, tough, crazy hair, beard, this kind of crazy-eyed undersea guy, big buff guy as Namor. And I thought it was going to be a Namor movie, and then I found out it was Aquaman. I was like, dang it.
You know what's going through my head right now is if we ever sit down, we rewatch this podcast, there's going to be, I'm going to cringe through part of it where I'm panicking on the, going, oh, Ricky, how you doing? Anyway, we got back. But anyway.
Terrence said, I think he's referring to Cyborg here. He got so little screen time. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know. He might be a fantastic actor, and he may be able to carry his own movie. I haven't seen enough of him to know.
Well, and that's true, and that's the thing. You haven't had a chance to meet these characters, to get to know these characters.
No.
I mean, Superman, Justice League. Boom. I mean, Superman, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
boom.
What it was
whatever.
Superman. It was Superman, Justice League Light, and Justice League.
Exactly.
No. I'm going to beat you up a little bit. It was Superman, Justice League Light, Super Friends.
Oh, that's so wrong. Super Friends. I just Wonder Twins power activate.
Hey, just so you know, remember, Marvel has a character that is canon named Squirrel Girl. So, if that makes you feel any better, and Howard the Duck. They are both canon in the comics
and showed up in a Marvel
the movies.
Yes, and Guardians of the Galaxy yes.
So
snap.
So just so you know, they both
Oh my.
That's right.
So, just so that we're fair, they both have some crazy, ridiculous things they have done. Oh, man, we need to wrap up here. We've been going almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, I tell you, this has been a good show. I mean, well, y'all made it a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not wrong, though. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I knew you were going to... I wasn't going to put that comment up there, but I knew you were going to put that on there, so I thought, yeah, forget that. I was going to delete it, actually. I couldn't get to it fast enough.
You were going to block him?
Yeah, I was going to block him. Talk about it tomorrow when I see him.
I don't know why you can't watch the show anymore.
I don't know. I don't understand. Oh, man.
We better wrap up.
Thank you, everyone, for coming on, being patient with us, and we hope you had a good time. Squirrel Girl to the rescue.
Hey, Chad.
Hey there.
Thanks for watching.
That's right. Well, Squirrel Girl, I mean, she can save my nuts.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my.
On that note, we're going to end it.
All right. This has been the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend, Mr. Ricky Pope. Thank you for joining us. Remember, we're going to be here next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central and 8 p.m. Eastern.
And
so,
we have no idea what we're talking about, so...
No, we don't. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, just stop
I'm not going to say anything.
Stop talking.
Can I go to sleep now?